These are instructions for the StatKey digital worksheet. So here's our worksheet. And we're going to answer these questions. The instructions for using this cool website called StatKey, which is used in college statistics courses, are on this separate doc. So we're going to take a quick look at that. A separate doc. And what does that look like? StatKey instructions. There we go. So that takes us through how to, what did I just do? All right. That takes us through how to use this StatKey website. And it's step by step and hopefully easy for you to follow. So let's start the first question together. So the first question is about cricket chirps and looking at cricket chirps and temperature. And I suggest watching this super short little YouTube video about a cricket chirping, and then you can have the image in your head of a cricket chirping, and you'll of course recognize the sound. It's that nice chirping sound you hear on warm evenings. So you're going to use this cool website. I'm going to actually go to the website right now. And there it is, StatKey. When you get to the website, it'll open up onto this Florida lakes, the pH and mercury graph. We're not going to use that one, so we're going to do this little pull-down menu here and do the cricket chirps one. So we'll select that one. Yep. And we see something that looks like it has a high correlation coefficient, that it's strongly associated. So let's click the show regression line, and we can see that all the points are very much clustered around the line of best fit, or the linear regression line. And then we can see the R value is this in this little chart where it says correlation 0.991. That's the R value for positive 0.991 for this particular study. So let's go record that on our worksheet. So you're going to have to decide what the explanatory variable is in this case and what is the response variable. And you can go back and look on your note sheet, lesson 9 notes, if you haven't done those already. Watch that video, do those notes, and remember which is the explanatory and which is the response variable. And then the correlation coefficient, we saw that there, it was 0.991, positive 0.991. And then from there we have to decide the strength of the correlation. Remember, going back to our, you could look back on your lesson 7 and 8 notes. The strongly correlated variables, their correlation coefficients are close to 1 or close to -1. So the strength is how close it is to 1 or -1. And then the sign, of course, is whether it's positive or negative. And then this is a handy little scale. Of course, a positive one is a strong positive association, or strong positive association or correlation. Negative one would be strong negative. No association at all would be right in the middle. It would be 0. That would just be a scatter plot that just was all over the place. You didn't look like it made a line at all. And then we have these sort of variations, right? So somewhere in this, between 0.5 and 0.75 would be moderate positive, moderate negative. Anyway, so you can decide where this one falls. Then you're going to research online a little bit about crickets and chirping and what's going on there, and answer this question as well. And then write a question you have about crickets or about this study. So you got to come up with some sort of question that you have. And then the next one is this very cool thing called the Happy Planet. And so these are all real data, this worksheet, from real experiments, or either experiments or observational studies. The Happy Planet Index is a very cool project and study. And you can, here's a little summary here. And then you're also going to watch a 4-minute TED Talk about the Happy Planet Index. And you're going to read their website about the study. And then you're going to, in 3 or more sentences, describe the study here. What is it actually observing and recording about people in different countries and their happiness? Okay. And then you'll answer very similar questions as to the cricket ones here. And then you have some specific Happy Planet Index questions to answer here. And actually a question of your own to ask. And a little bit of research to do. And then the last thing is you're going to choose another StatKey study on that website. You're going to make sure it's one that is described on this document here. So let's take a look at that together. So we're going to go on the website, and in this pull-down menu here, if we click the pull-down menu, there's all these different studies. Notice the happiness or Happy Planet Index is on there towards the bottom. You can do the regression line. And then you can choose other ones of these. Now, you want to choose one that also appears in this doc that I linked to. So if we go back to our worksheet, this StatKey data set descriptions. So let's take a quick look at that. Is it going to open up for me? Let's see, data set descriptions. Here we go. So this is the college textbook that the Sonoma State and I believe the SRJC used for their statistics course. And it describes some of the same data sets that are on that StatKey pull-down menu. So here's Happy Planet Index, for example. Ooh, there's one about Golden State Warriors in 2019. If you're a Warriors fan, that's a fun one to choose. The Florida lakes, all kinds of things. So you're going to choose one of these. And then these are all discussed alphabetically. So this first one, for example, all countries, you can read very briefly about what it actually recorded. Or baseball hits, if you're a baseball fan, that's a fun one. A cars one. Anyway, so it talks a little bit about each study. So you'll choose one, and then you will answer several questions about it. You'll describe the study as best you can from that brief description. You'll identify the explanatory variable, the response variable, correlation coefficient, etc., and write a question about it. All right.